Hey guys, Skinny here. Today's video is going to be a bit more of a serious discussion video about my channel going forward and a few other things here and there. So if you don't want to watch something a bit more serious, then that's fine. I'll just see you guys in the next one. Should be up probably next week sometime. I don't know, I'm a bit slow with uploads at the moment, but yeah. Just going to get that little disclaimer out there that this isn't going to be like my other videos for anyone who wondered about that. But anyway, I'm going to get right into it. So, many of you might know, I've only just come back from a bit of a break in content. The reasons for this break are a bit of a long story, and if I was to go fully in depth about them, they'd take up the entire video. So, in interest of covering all my topics, I'm just going to give you a sort of summarized version of why I slowed down. So, originally, the reason I slowed down was because I had uni assignments to hand in, and I had to sort of focus on those over getting content up. And originally I only attended for maybe like a month of break in content while I got those out. But then some personal issues came up and I kind of had to extend the break for a bit. And, you know, I fully had to drop games for a while. I had to drop content. I kind of just had to put my whole life on pause to deal with a few things. But when I eventually did get a chance to get back to doing my normal stuff, I sort of came back to DBD and thought, right, well, before I get into content, I might as well shake off some of the rust and try and get into the game. But unfortunately, all of my interest in DBD is completely gone, pretty much, or at least at the time it was, and I just couldn't play a single match of either role without getting incredibly frustrated and annoyed and just basically being really unpleasant throughout the entire match. Like it would have been miserable for me to record because it's not fun for me to play a game when I'm in that mood. It's certainly not fun for you guys to watch a video. You know, I don't think any of you would watch a video if it was titled as just gameplay, and then you watch it and the guy you're watching is just cursing out the game every 5 seconds or just grumpy, and it's just miserable. So I eventually decided, well, I'm not enjoying DBD. The bulk of my content on my channel, all of my content on my channel, is DBD focused. So I threw my hands up and I said, no, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna, I'm already on a bit of a break. I may as well just take it and just fully end this break and just stay gone at least till DBD gets a significant content update to see if that would put a bit more interest in it for me and rekindle some entertainment value, make the game feel fresh again. So I waited until the Resident Evil chapter, and we all know how well that content went for the game because it's probably been the worst launch since Twins, which to be honest is actually impressive for behaviour. I didn't think they could top that. It was an absolute mess, but hey, they never cease to amaze. But yeah, the Resident Evil chapter didn't exactly launch all too well, and that left me in this awkward spot where I came back to all this new content and thought, okay, surely the game will be a bit better now. It's not. If anything, it's worse. It's in one of the worst states I've ever seen it in. And to nobody's surprise, I don't really enjoy the game still, even though I'm back. To its credit, I am playing it again. I'm not completely out of the game. I am actually playing it now from time to time, but nowhere near as much as I used to. Before, I would embarrassingly spend entire days playing DBD for long times, like 4 hours straight some days, just recording all the time, maybe getting 2 or 3 videos done in the same day. It was a good thing. I was playing the game a lot. I was getting a lot of content out of it, but now I get maybe 2-3 games in an entire day before I lose any interest in playing anymore, or I have to go on a huge break and maybe get 2 more in the evening, and that's about it. It's really just not fun. I mean, most matches, they tend to go a bit like this. Like, I'll load in, run around for a bit, have a few chases, couple downs maybe, and before you know it, suddenly 3-4 gens are popping in the span of 5 seconds because apparently something went wrong that I didn't notice, that I didn't pay attention to. Either I chased one dude for a fraction of a second too long, or I wasn't in 6 places at once, you know, it is playing killer. And the whole game is just lost from the very beginning, and there's not really anything I can do. And then I'm just stuck in this awkward stalemate of, because the DC penalty is a thing, this awkward stalemate of I can't leave even though I'm not having fun. I'm forced to stay and watch these 4 survivors just rub it in that I lost to circumstances that I don't even understand. I get that, like, the bulk of this is probably because I'm rusty and like haven't played in a month, 2 months, so I need to sort of relearn. It certainly doesn't help that since coming back, the bulk of my playtime has actually been on Trickster, which, you know, he's not exactly the greatest killer. But that being said, I expected to be gone for long enough that I would have D-ranked to maybe green ranks, or maybe even back to the beginning, down at rank 20, so I could, you know, I was expecting to be not completely useless at the game, but, you know, at a point where I wouldn't be able to contest with red ranks because I've been gone for so long that I wouldn't be in the mindset to be aware of 4 people's actions at once and remember that, you know, this, that, and the other. But unfortunately, when I did come back after my break and I looked at how much I'd rank reset, I only went down to purple ranks. I went down to rank 5 from rank 1. So it was literally in a case of 3, 4, 5 games I was back at red ranks, and then I was just stuck in this purgatory loop of, well, I'm in red rank where everyone is sweaty and just demolishing me. Occasionally I'll get a decent game, but I'm just stuck loading into games where the survivors are vastly better than me because they haven't had long breaks, they haven't been away for a while, they've been still playing, whereas I'm at like green rank level gameplay but stuck in red ranks because of how I was playing 2 months prior. It's a bit miserable, and that's just killer, because Survivor, it's the complete opposite story. I have D-ranked right back to rank 20 because I wasn't playing much Survivor when I was still playing. So in that case, I'm stuck in this loop where I actually am pretty much better skill level, not to be egotistical and toot my own horn, but compared to like brand new players and people in lower ranks, I'm, you know, doing far better than them. But because Survivor is so team based, I'm stuck in a loop where I'm stuck at lower ranks because I can't do 4 people's roles on the back of one person. It's just not possible. So that's just the game in general, where if I play either role, neither role is actually fun to me anymore because both have their own troubles and both is just frustrating. And like I've always said, I don't care about winning too much. I care about the fun I have. It's why I play people like Trickster and Clown, who are bad killers, who I generally don't do well with in terms of getting more kills and hooks, but have that fun gameplay element that are entertaining to play. But the thing is now is there's only so much I can take where even if I'm having fun, I'm still losing over and over, and eventually the losses do get to you, and you know, you stop having fun, and circumstances come up where you just don't want to play anymore. But this video is turning into a bit of a rant about the state of TPT, and believe me, I've got a lot to say about that regarding the latest chapter, and the community's reaction, and just the community as a whole, and all that. But I don't want to spend too long talking about that, because that's not the focus of this video. It's just a little side tangent about it. The next thing I'm going to move on to is actually a very personal topic, and that is mental health, or my mental health to be more specific. Most of you guys won't know this because I've never actually shared it, but I figured it's probably best to get this out there now rather than hide it, and, you know, who knows, a few years down the line I might actually have a decent amount of subscribers and it'll be a bit harder to get this off my chest. So I'll get it off from the very get-go in case that does happen. I actually suffer from pretty bad depression and anxiety, like pretty severe, to the point where the whole reason I even started making content was to give me something to do in the days, because most days, like I said, I'd spend most of the time lying in bed all day until late afternoon, when I finally thought, no, I can't just sit in bed all day, where I'd roll out of bed begrudgingly, jump on a game and just waste the day sitting on something like DVD for hours and hours. So I thought, no, I need to make content I should try and do something, and that gave me a drive to get up early to do videos and actually do stuff. But then, and when I was making content, it was actually good. It worked out. I was in good spirit. I had a good mood. It was fun to know that, like, when I was going to bed the nights before, I would wake up and the next day would be, you know, okay, I have to wake up at this time to do this thumbnail for this video, get this up. You know, I learned how to do SFM, and that was really fun. I even spent some of my free time just sitting posing in SFM, not even for a thumbnail, just doing it for fun. You know, and editing was fun. All this stuff around content creation was fun and gave me something to look forward to that kept my mood good. But unfortunately, you know, good things never last, and I had to take my break because of uni work. And now, because of there being such a break and the primary focus of my content no longer being entertaining to me, there's just no drive to do anything. Like, the last thing, when I'm already depressed in a day, when I'm already sat there, you know, in a day just feeling low, haven't really been productive, the last thing I want to do is load up DBD and get even more depressed at the state of the game. And like, I have other games that I play, but I can't. Like, they're going down the same road where I'll like them for a bit, I'll think about them, but then I can't upload them because obviously they're a very big jump from what my current content is. And even then, if I do start uploading to them, that then turns them from sort of an entertaining hobby to an actual, you know, not necessarily a job, but it, you know, it puts a bit more work behind it. It takes a game from being a game to, you know, something more. And it's just, it's difficult to do that. It's difficult to play a game that, when you're depressed, that makes you more depressed. And the last thing I want to do is spiral and get worse. And I want to keep making content for you guys. Believe me, I do. It's fun editing. Like I said, editing, thumbnails, all that. I love doing it. But I'm in this sort of feedback loop where the primary focus of my content is no longer entertaining to me. Therefore, I have no content to make, which then just makes me more depressed, and I just keep going around in circles of, I'm depressed, I should make content to be not depressed, but I'm too depressed to make anything to make content on. And it's just, it's not good, like, to be focused entirely around DBD. And like I said, I do still want to make content because that makes me happy, but my original focus of being like a full DBD channel, absolutely not. Like, that's just not happening at this point, at this rate. Which sort of brings me on to the sort of closing point of this video, which is, where do I plan to take this channel? What do I plan to do? I do want to say I'm not fully done with DBD content. As much as my interest levels in the game are waning, there are still occasional aspects of it that do provide me with a bit of fun, and I do still want to make a little bit of content on that on the side, because obviously all of you have come to me so far, you've come for DBD, you've come from DBD, so it would be stupid to just branch out into something completely different, because then, you know, a large majority of you probably wouldn't want to watch anymore, and I don't want that. I want to keep you guys around, you know. I don't want to disappoint you guys by, like, sort of, I'd feel like I'm leading you in, like, you know, you'd come in and be like, oh, DBD, and then I just start uploading, I don't know, whatever's popular and trending at the moment. You know, I don't want to do that. That would just be pathetic. But the problem is obviously DBD is waning, and I can't make just DBD stuff because I wouldn't get much content out of it, and it's just depressing for me to play. So that alleviates any worries for you guys who were like, oh, he's stopping DBD content? Oh, well, I'm off then, you know. No, I am going to still do DBD stuff. It just won't be as much as before, and it won't be the bulk of the content on the channel. That being said, I do want to try and introduce some new stuff to the channel to maybe spice up some variety and give me something new to do so that I don't end up, you know, getting depressed and just feeling low about myself. So the first thing I thought about was, well, I'll change the games I'm playing, you know, I'll still keep it being gameplay. There's no point, you know, starting out as a gameplay channel and all of a sudden commentary. Like, you know, it wouldn't work. But so I'm going to stay with games, but I need to change the games that I am playing. So the first thing I thought about was, well, DBD's horror, and horror is an overlapping genre, so maybe if we keep some horror-related games on the channel, people might stick around. You know, it's not DVD, but it's still horror. It might be entertaining. So I do have a couple of games lined up there in the future that I might want to do. The problem with branching out for variety, though, is some of you may know I only have a gaming laptop. I don't have a full PC setup, and while it is a decent laptop, it can actually run games compared to your standard commercial laptop. It's, you know, it's a laptop at the end of the day. It's not ideal. It's not great for large scale gaming. It's not great for recording games while playing them. It's a bit, you know, it's a bit low quality. I mean, it does the job, but it's not something I'm going to keep forever. So that does sort of limit me with variety. I am going to still try with variety, but, you know, if there ever comes a point where uploads slow down again, it's either because I've run out of things that this laptop can actually run at a stable frame rate and record, or, you know, hey, I might have actually found the money to get a decent setup, and it's probably just taken me a while to get that hardware made. So that's probably what will happen if content slows down. I don't intend for content to ever slow down again. That's the last thing I want, is to have another 3-month break. I don't want to become one of those channels that, like, oh, you'll maybe get a video every month or two, and then that's probably the best you'll get. Like, no, I do want to try and keep uploads a regular thing, but, you know, I am limited in the circumstances I'm in. But anyway, that's that. I don't really have much more to say without going off on a huge rambling tangent about everything I've covered in this video. I hope I've explained my break, where I am sort of in a headspace, and where I plan to take this channel to you guys. Thank you, huge thank you to anyone who stuck around to the end and watched this full video. I know I'm only a small channel, but I promise you I'll have a proper video set up next week to make up for this one being a bit of a different tone and not really being the standard stuff I'd upload. But yeah, like I said, huge thank you to anyone who stuck around to watch this full video. I know this is probably something you'd expect, like a larger channel to upload, and let's be honest, I'm a nobody. No, I don't want to sound like I'm sympathy baiting there, but that's just a little self-deprecating joke. It's what those depressed people are good at. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Yeah, again, thank you to anyone who stuck around to the end. Like I said, I'll get a video up next week. It'll be a proper video. It will probably be DVD, let's be honest. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in that video.